Decatur County Grand Jury handed down indictment of especially aggravated kidnapping and first-degree felony murder on Zachary Rye Adams.
A lead in the case that friends and family have been praying for.
Based upon the evidence that we have before us, we also feel that she was killed in the perpetration of kidnapping. Thus, we have her charged with felony murder.
But hoping they would never have to hear.
Right now, it's just heartbreak. It's just not the way we hoped it would turn out. It's just not.
For the last 3 years, the small community of Parsons has lined the streets with pink bows like these, hoping to see Holly once again.
There's always been pink bows here because we all had that hope for Holly to come home.
Her disappearance has changed this small community forever.
It's a truly sad day in Decatur County because this didn't just affect one family, it affects two.
It just breaks my heart. It's just shocking to know that they think it's a murder case now because we've all prayed and hoped so hard and so long that she would come home.
Even investigators recognize the importance for this community to find closure.
But hopefully this is the beginning of closure for the Bobo family, and they deserve that.
Zachary Adams is being held in Chester County Jail tonight with no bond.
But I don't think Zach done that.
One man who knows Zach thinks he's been wrongfully targeted.
They trying to blame Zach because he's an outlaw. That's what I think. And maybe if I offend anybody for saying that, I apologize. But I think he's an old country boy, and he's been in dope so long that now, by God, they trying to hang him.
The central message from law enforcement today is that this case is far from over.
Just because of the announcement today doesn't mean that we are finished. Law enforcement will continue its efforts. Thousands upon thousands of law enforcement man-hours have been dedicated to this investigation, and we are dedicated to ensuring that justice is done.
But this is too important. This is very, very important. It's taken us 3 years to get to this point. We can't mess it up now.
Reporting in Decatur County, Chris Davis, MT10 News. On April 13, 2011, Holly Bobo went missing. Within hours, the search began.
For the past 3 years, people have really poured out their prayers and love and concern and support. Hundreds of volunteers have come down through the course of the past 3 years.
Pink bows and signs lined the streets of Decatur County. Even cash rewards were offered, all in the hopes of more information in this case. Finally, a major announcement was made in the packed Decatur County Courthouse back in March.
Handed down indictment of especially aggravated kidnapping and first-degree felony murder on Zachary Rye Adams.
With an arrest in the case, search efforts stopped, but community support never wavered. When Holly Bobo first disappeared, the message of the community was help us bring Holly home. Now that murder charges have been filed in this case, the new message is justice for Holly. Now as the family fights for justice in this case, the community is continuing to show their support for the family.
They take you in your home and feed you. They're just good Southern Christian people.
But they need the help, they need the support, so that's what we do. We all pull together, we support.
Pastor Don Frank says they will continue to plan community events in support of the Bobos.
That we're going to be with them and beside them in the days ahead, and they do have some very difficult days ahead of them. But we just want them to know that we're right there with them.
And as has been the case since the very beginning, members of the community vow to support the family until the very end.
We're here to support her. If it takes now, from 20 years from now, we're going to get justice for Holly.
Reporting for MT10 News in Decatur County, I'm Chris Davis.
This weekend marks 3 years since Holly Bobo went missing. About a month ago, the TBI charged Zachary Adams with first-degree murder in the case.
Adams was scheduled to have a status hearing today in Decatur County. MT10 reporter Chris Davis was in the courtroom this morning and has the details.
Chris Davis coming to you from the Decatur County Courthouse, where earlier this morning a status hearing was held in the Holly Bobo murder case. Zachary Adams, the accused in this case, was not in court. The judge did waive his right to appear and actually mentioned to the court that he regretted that decision. He wished that Zach was present due to the fact that they did have a lot of questions for him on when he would appoint an attorney, which brings us to the next problem in the status hearing, is that they cannot move forward with the status hearing until Zachary has his attorney in place. He has not done so. He has not officially retained his attorney, so they could not have the full status hearing today. With that announcement, a lot of friends, family, and supporters of Holly Bobo and the family were very disappointed today. They packed the courtroom house, and afterwards they talked to us about how disappointed they were that they were not able to move forward with this trial. It's been such a long process for this community, and they really have the hope that something will happen very soon with this case. Reporting from Decatur County at the courthouse, Chris Davis, MT10 News.
Thank you, Chris. Now, one of the purposes of the status hearing this morning was to keep the case moving forward. MT10 reporter Brock Howard brings us the reaction of those close to the Bobo family after little progress was made.
A crowded Decatur County courtroom left disheartened today after no real progress was made in the Holly Bobo case.
Disappointed. Disappointed. We need to get the case moving forward before it loses the speed that is needed.
We're frustrated, but I'm ready to get it started and get it over with.
You know, it seems like that everybody was unprepared, and you know, he hasn't retained an attorney, and you know, it was kind of a letdown, really.
Pastor Don Frank spoke on behalf of the family.
Families somewhat disappointed. They wanted everything to proceed. They want it to be fair, but at the same time, they want it to be as quickly as possible.
Throughout the entire process, the area community has stood by the Bobo family.
We'll be right here. We'll be right behind them the whole time. We'll see it through to the end.
We appreciate everything that has been done over the past 3 years, and everything continues to be done on their behalf.
Despite the tragedy that has unfolded in this tight-knit community.
You know, in a small town, even though you might not be blood related, you're all family, you know.
They are united behind one cause.
I just pray that justice is served.
Continue to pray until we get Holly home.
Reporting from Decatur County, I'm Brock Howard.
Now, Adams is set to appear back in court on April 30th.
Now, we've got a lot of great stories to get to, but to start off the broadcast, we want to tell you about some new information we've just learned regarding the Holly Bobo case that has recently been released.
We returned indictments against 39-year-old Jason Wayne Autry.
On Tuesday, the TBI announced charges against Jason Wayne Autry. Autry is charged with especially aggravated kidnapping and first-degree murder. He was arraigned today in the Decatur County District Court. TBI officials say more arrests are expected.
We believe that there are individuals out there that have information, possible involvement, and I think this sends a clear message to them that they should be expecting a knock at their door pretty soon.
It's a case that defined a small West Tennessee town, and now, after 3.5 years, the family of Holly Bobo is finally getting closure. Late last night, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation announced that the skull found over the weekend has been identified as missing nursing student Holly Bobo. Today, the family released a statement through their family attorney saying, "On behalf of Holly, we'd like to thank everyone for their thoughts and prayers. We will never understand the actions or the motives of those who took Holly from us. Those responsible will be afforded a trial. An innocent victim, Holly had no such right." Steve Farisi went on to ask on behalf for the privacy as they grieve the loss of their daughter.